Well, it's actually my pleasure being here with you. I'm very pleased to be a part of this ITN network, and I really appreciate that you wanted to have this interview with me. So thank you very much. So it's me who's very grateful to you. Thank you. Well, I think we really have to go very early. We have to go to school and talk to girls, because it happens from the very early years, from the very beginning, that girls think that they cannot actually make it, they cannot do it well in STEM disciplines. There is a study done by Princeton University indicating that girls at the age of 6 already have this sort of dream gap. They don't think they are ready to actually take on STEM disciplines. So we have to go very early and show them people, women, who have actually been able to be scientists and successful scientists. And then I think things will be much easier. I started my career a long time ago, like how long? Almost 35 years ago. And things were different, but as a matter of fact, we still have a lot of work to do. In my personal case, I have to say that I didn't feel discriminated very much. I didn't have many problems due to me being a woman. But there were always things, and what happened is that maybe we were actually used to that and we continued working as if nothing happened. Because for instance, I can tell you, I mean, this is very funny, but I remember when I started my own lab that there were people coming to the lab, even commercials, and the very first question always was, hello, what is your boss? And I went, well, I am the boss. So that was something that I suppose it would not happen now, but I also know that in science, but also in other jobs, and maybe more in other jobs, there is still a lot of prejudice and or a lot of difficulties for women to pursue the scientific career. But I think that it is in general society that it is not ready for women to actually pursue their careers as men can do, because we have a lot of other responsibilities that we still have to actually, do and fulfill. When I think of my early years and how is it that I decided to establish my scientific career, I always think of a particular moment that it was really very good and very exciting to me. That was when I was about to finish my second postdoc in London at the Medical Research Council and go back to Spain, and then is when I actually isolated the snail. Snail is a transcription factor which regulates a very important program during embryonic development. So, and that is when I decided that I would work on that in my lab. But actually, the point in time when I think that my career started, with a clear, perspective and actually change everything is when we were fortunate to make the connection between embryonic development and cancer, because we found that these very same genes, these developmental genes, were reactivated in a pathological manner in cancer. And I think that was the moment that changed my career. A question to my younger self. I don't know. Actually, I wanted to be a scientist since I was a little girl. I always wanted to do this. And I was pretty sure that I would do whatever it takes to do that, in terms of effort and in terms of passion and in terms of resilience. And I did that, and I think, I don't think I would change that. I think it would be, I would do as I did. The most challenging aspect is maybe having the high degree of resilience, which is something that always accompanies science. I suppose it accompanies all different jobs, but in science it is important because we have to try different strategies, different venues, different ideas, different hypotheses, and by definition, none of them are going to work. And as a matter of fact, very few of them work. So we have to know that this is what is going to happen, and we have to know that this is the nature of our job, and therefore we have to be resilient to keep on going and to try and find the most interesting and exciting results that then you can interpret in the most interesting and exciting conclusions, and go ahead. It is always a matter of quantity, of intensity. Having pressure to keep on going is actually good in any job, and science is not an exception. I think that recently, the publish or perish thing is actually being questioned, and I think it is that's very good. Of course, in any job, you have to show what you do, and you have to fulfill, and you have to meet expectations. Because remember that the majority of us actually work with public funding, and therefore we have to tell society what are we doing with their money, essentially. So we have to, you have to fulfill, we have to provide, answers to questions. And indeed, this is also challenging, but this is part of our job. And if you think about it, any job will actually have expectations and fulfillments, and what you really have to do. So we have to start thinking that we are not that different from other people. The only issue or problem, if you want, is that in science we do have the privilege to to see sometimes things that no one else has seen before. So this is a real privilege, and this is actually challenging, and therefore you have to challenge yourself as well. Science for me is passion, is rigor, is freedom, but it is also generosity and responsibility. And I think we have to take on duties that have to do with community service, because we also have to serve our community and our society. So indeed, with the years, you are taking on more responsibilities just because you are ready to take those responsibilities. But the actual concept, I don't think it has to be seen as something negative. I think it has to be seen as something really very positive, and something that has to be done. It is fair to help others. And indeed, I mean, when you are a senior group leader, part of the duties is actually help young leaders to do their job. So again, don't think of these other responsibilities as something really very negative. Try to actually be efficient, and of course your science is extremely important, and you don't have to forget about it. But it is good that you try and help other people, both in your community, in your institution, in your country, and science in general. Well, in my case, I don't think to make any effort to actually, keep my passion for science, because this is what moves me since I was a kid, and I still have the very same passion, if not more. So of course, again, I have to combine this with a lot of administrative responsibilities, but as I mentioned already in a previous question, I don't think this is a negative aspect. It could be negative if actually it's overwhelming, and I have to admit that I have, maybe too many hats that I have to wear. But it's part of our job, and it's part of our service to the community. So, but no problems about passion for science.